Welcome to the Pondcast, where we stop winging it and start getting strategic. This is the podcast from GoDuck Marketing and Media, where we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of marketing, using real-world examples from the brands, businesses, and everyday moments we all experience. Because marketing isn't just ads and social posts. It's happening all around us. This is the Pondcast. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to GoDuck Marketing and Media's The Pondcast. Today, we're going to talk about AI. I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but AI has pretty much taken over all of our digital landscape, and pretty much every single job that has ever existed has now been affected by AI. So marketing is no different. In fact, marketing probably has one of the biggest AI pulls out of anywhere. So as a marketing agency, we have to really understand how AI is affecting the businesses that we work with, and how we can utilize it as a tool and not rely on it. Because one of the biggest problems with AI is its over-reliance. And the fact that many local businesses have taken AI and they're using it for all of their marketing and all of their branding. And so we're going to kind of talk about the good of AI, how it can be utilized as a tool, but then we're also going to talk about some things to avoid with AI, or maybe things to start with, as a foundation, and then do your own human tweaks, because AI, as we all know, is not perfect. So we have Ashton Basham back with us. He is our creative director. So as creative director, he pretty much handles all things branding, all things graphic design. He is kind of the brains behind any kind of creative ideas we come up with for our clients. He's got that really nice right brain that works so hard for us. And then we also have Anna, who is our digital marketing manager. And she pretty much handles all of our clients' ads on Facebook, on Google, on streaming TV. And the two of them work together a lot on creating really the best strategy that we can for businesses. And also, they both utilize AI as a tool, but we're going to talk about the ways that they utilize it. So first of all, as it all comes together, if there's anything to take away from this, even before we really get started, is that AI is a tool. It amplifies, and it's either going to amplify a good strategy or it's going to amplify bad marketing. So how do you want AI to be used? So first of all, I want to talk about kind of what AI is actually doing in the marketing sphere. And so I'm going to talk about I'm going to take this to you, Ashton, and talk about how do you think AI is being used for good in marketing, especially in both of your fields, really, in the two ways that you work at GoDuck. How do you utilize AI and what you'd consider a good way?
Yeah, so I know my way, especially with like branding and any other creative. So that could be a brochure, any like Facebook ads, digital ads, anything like that I would make. It kind of gives me, as you said before, like a good starting point to like a graphic or a design or just like an idea to start from. So I'll know when I do branding, especially, I like to see what like a popular icon is, or how other brands kind of use like a popular topic in their branding and their logos, any colors that kind of stand out with this certain industry or certain things. Or if I'm having like a creative block, it also helps me with idea generation. So that way I can kind of still come up with a good idea and start like using that creative process. But if I'm having struggling a little bit coming up with some ideas, it can help me out. And then I know for like any other creatives, like those graphics that I was talking about, I ask it sometimes to come up with some copy, or like a good format and layout. And then I'll take that and run with it. And so that way I kind of give that human touch rather than just like a weird format that sometimes ChatGPT likes to give.
Mm-hmm. ChatGPT has a very weird format.
It does.
That I feel like you can really point out in a Facebook post or something like that if that's all you.
Yeah, sometimes it could be too wordy. It loves to use an M dash. If you use ChatGPT or any other AI, that they love to use an M dash for some reason. But I'll say, so that's when I need to go back in and kind of do like the human touch and the tweaks and things to kind of fix that up. But yeah, AI can be really helpful in my side of things.
What about for you, Anna?
I think, like you said, generating ideas. I don't think any human can generate as many and as fast ideas as ChatGPT or any AI really does, because it's just faster when a machine does it, really. But I think, as especially for the Facebook ads, I think it's my responsibility to kind of get those ideas and then put human touch on it, because there's nothing more annoying than when you see a Facebook ad and there's just so obvious that it's just completely AI. And I think that, especially for smaller business, it really hurts them because it's so obvious that this wasn't created by a human. And it feels a bit impersonal in a way too, I think, because it's just not that human touch that you really need. So for example, for our Google campaigns, I use it a lot for keywords. It gives me a long list of keywords that I probably wouldn't have thought of as fast or as quickly. But then I think my biggest thing is that I pick from it. Like, I don't copy and paste it. I really take my takeaway from it. And it's the same with the site links and everything that I put into our Google campaigns. I make a selection, and I think that makes a big difference than just copying and pasting. And like, it goes for everything. Like, we shouldn't be copy and pasting from AI. And sometimes AI is wrong. Like, sometimes it gives me an idea and I'm like, wait, this doesn't work, or this isn't the way it's supposed to be. So I think it's really important to monitor it closely so you know that what it can do for you.
I think in the office sometimes too, we've made fun of some of the ideas that AI has come up with for things on occasion where it's just so ridiculous and does not fit within the vibe of what the client needs or what we're doing for ourselves too, and it can be a little over the top. So, what would you say are the positives with AI and branding versus maybe some of the negatives? What are the pros versus the cons?
Yeah. So some of the good things is it does know like visually and like color palette wise and like typography and fonts what works and what doesn't. So it can see all the like out of the database that it has what fonts are the most popular, like what people like, which colors people like more. And so that is a good way to do it. But when it generates a logo itself, this is one of the bad things, very bad things. Um, it pulls pulls out of that database and kind of creates the same logo with just slight variation. It doesn't have that human touch of separation.
I think you did an example
I
of
did.
this very thing. If you could show that.
Yeah. What I did was I did some very generic, like basic things, nothing crazy, just something that a local company or like local business might do, especially around here. So the first thing I did was ask it come up with a logo for a local restaurant. As you can see, it's got some food, got some vegetables, has a nice name. It looks very nice. Don't get me wrong, it looks very nice. Then the next one is come up with a logo for a local store. Same kind of concept, great name, has a little slogan at the bottom of it, has a store on the front. Then next, I did do it for a local park. Same thing, kind of has views, good name, slogan. And then the last one, I did it for a school just randomly. So the good thing about these is it is very attention grabbing. It really shows like a good logo design just right off the bat, something like on a big canvas or like a big medium. However, if you scroll and look at these, they all look the exact same. They all have a circle format. They all are circular. They are all very detailed. They're
Very busy.
very busy, has way too much in it. It almost is kind of cheesy and almost kind of cringy to look at. They all have the name right in the middle. They all have a slogan right across the bottom. So you can just kind of see and tell that ChatGPT and other AI softwares like to pull from that database, as I was talking about, and kind of create the same thing, but with its own variation based on what the person is asking for.
I think that with some of these logos that AI can come up with, it's like it looks good, but it doesn't have any kind of meaningful it doesn't take any kind of meaningful interpretation. It's like it just kind of takes the idea of like, oh, a farmer's market, and I'm gonna add some fruit and some vegetables, and like, but what is the actual meaning behind your business and your brand?
Yeah.
AI is probably not going to come up with a good logo that actually fits what you're trying to do. And it is all pretty much the same.
Yeah, because the whole point of like your brand is you want to stand out. You want to be unique, and you want to have that variation in everything you do with it. Like whether it's just your colors somewhere out in public, or your fonts, or like even your full-on primary logo, you want it to stand out and not look like everybody else. And with ChatGPT, it tends to make you look like every other person and every other competitor around you.
Yeah. And the problem with AI is that it pulls from what already exists, which sometimes is great because sometimes you don't want to reinvent the wheel. But at the same time, you have to have some differentiation.
Yeah.
So you allow it to start with other ideas that people have had, and then you add your own twist to it and your own thoughts and the story that you have, because marketing is storytelling, and AI just doesn't tell a story very well, or at least it doesn't tell a story any differently from everyone else.
Exactly.
So now let's go into kind of talking about AI in social media and in content. And, on a regular basis, how much, if you're just scrolling through Facebook, scrolling through Instagram, on a regular basis, within an hour of scrolling, how many AI generated posts do you see?
You go first.
I don't know. I feel like there's so many, and a lot of them are, first of all, really, really busy. I don't know really where to look, and they like visually look like they have meaning, but they don't really have any meaning. Like the logos you were showing now, it's just so busy that you don't really know where to go from it. And another thing, getting back to how many I see, I would say 15 or 20. Say out of 100, I would probably say like 20 probably, or 25 that are like clearly, that I can clearly at first glance I think, this doesn't look right. There's nothing genuine or personal in this. And I think that's the biggest problem with AI, that it's just so generic and so impersonal. And especially like where we are based, like personality and like putting your personal touch to it is everything. Because like we're based of kind of like a mouth-to-mouth marketing, and we want people to talk about us and know us, who we are. And when you put AI to it, there's no one knows who did it or who's behind it. Like it's just so generic in a way that just doesn't fly, I don't think, at all.
Yeah, I agree. There's just, in easier terms, there's way too much AI content now. Like whether you're scrolling on Facebook videos or like Instagram reels, or even like Facebook posts that people make, like a lot of people are making those AI flyers. You've seen them. You've maybe made one too. So, but that's okay. That's okay.
It's in the caption. It's strong in the captions and stuff. On social media too. I know that I just read. It's been a trend now to have these massively long AI captions in these posts, and I know I felt so dumb like a week ago because I read the whole thing. I guess they went through and took out the M dashes because I couldn't super tell until like halfway. I was like, this is getting a little wordy. This kind of seems like AI. And then I made it all the way to the end where the final sentence just said, hope you like this paragraph. If you want one a little different, you can ask me if you want it to be funny or more serious or whatever. And I was like, oh, there we go. There it is. You took out the M dashes, but you didn't take out that last little part that you copied and pasted. So very interesting, I think, just to see the way that it's taking over. I mean, not to be political, but even the freaking White House is using AI in their posts and their ads and all of that. So the good of AI and social media and content, it helps to scale the content production. If you really struggle with, if you're a very, very small business, or if you're working for yourself and you don't necessarily have a lot of time to focus on social media, That's super helpful. I mean, it is really a very helpful thing to be able to have it generate those ideas for you and to even create some of those posts for you. But honestly, more so than letting AI create the posts for you, it's always better to just have your own photos and your own content that you've created. You don't even have to make any graphics about it. It can just be a post, a photo, something real. People are craving human attention right now. And that those kind of posts are doing better than any AI generated slop, the bad kind of AI, because basically it always just kind of looks a little too manufactured. It's a little uncanny valley, like
For sure.
you can't an AI person in their photo, it's like they don't have a soul. They've lost.
Almost scared.
There's nothing there. Nothing behind those eyes. The lights are on, but no one's home. So, kind of in total with that, with both the branding and the social media content, is people want to follow brands that feel human. And if you feel AI, if your brand feels very AI or like you've taken all of your ideas from AI, people notice. They just do. And they will. And you're going to remove that human element from your business without even realizing it, to a point of where it's overused. It's too much. You want to use AI for your help to maybe create your foundation, create your ideas, but then you build on it in that human way. And then once you are able to do that, it makes things easier, one, because AI helped you create those ideas, but now you've added that human touch, that human element to it that makes everything so much easier. So let's talk about AI and video.
Oh gosh.
We've seen some commercials
What?
made completely out of AI, entirely out of AI. Even the Super Bowl this year, I heard someone call it the AI Super Bowl because of how many Super Bowl ads had AI. So and we're back. Sorry, everyone. But we are marketers. We are not interior designers, and our sign keeps falling, and we can't get it back up. So the sign is just going to be our fourth guest.
Perfect.
All right. Where were we? We were talking about AI and video and how there were some commercials and things like that we've seen that are so AI centered. So some of the good, lower production costs, obviously. It's a faster turnaround. You've got access to those visuals for a small business. But I would say there's more bad in AI and video than anything else.
For sure.
AI can be used in video as a tool, which can be like there's AI tools for Premiere Pro and Final Cut and all of those things that you can use as a tool to kind of help tweak, make things just look a little bit nicer. But as a whole, if you are using AI for your entire video and your entire commercial, don't. You cannot get away with it. It is not that good yet.
No, it's not.
You can't get away with it.
And I do think it will come eventually.
Which
is
is a scary thought.
Scary.
Scary thought.
It's really scary, I think. But we're not where we need to be able to use AI the way we are using AI for
Yeah.
like it's just too soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think, in my personal opinion, I would rather not use video at all than to use it based like only AI, because it doesn't really do anything for your brand. It kind of just dilutes it in a way because it just feels impersonal and doesn't feel like there's anything that's actually sincere about it. It's kind of like, oh, I just pushed this out because I have to push something out.
Yeah.
Like I would genuinely rather not do any video if I don't have the capacity to do video.
Yeah. I think it cheapens it. And like I keep going back to this, but AI cheapens your brand. It makes it look cheap. And it really is better to just not hire a full production video company than it is to use AI. It just doesn't come across well. And so how do you go around that? Very easy. People want the human touch, the human connection. There's more ads that I see doing well that are just filmed like this with your phone in front of your face than a lot of the high tech, high production videos. And I'm literally saying that as a marketing agency owner. And, video is a big part of what we do. But I'm telling you, rather than use AI, doing this and talking into your phone will do better than using AI. It is just, it's the better thing. And if it looks cheap, your business feels cheap. And so who's going to want to use you if you feel cheap?
Exactly.
I mean, that's blunt, but it's the truth.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
So AI and a marketing strategy. How do we utilize it in our marketing strategies?
I think that is great for generating ideas. And I think it gives really good insights, especially when I started working here at GoDoc. I just graduated college and I didn't really understand the market quite yet. And I got some input from you and from our coworkers, but it was a really good tool to kind of see where to start because I didn't really know kind of what route to take. So it gave me really good input. But I think the most important thing is that what will you do with that input? Like we said earlier, copying and pasting won't really get you anywhere. It's so important to know like what's specific for this, for us and for our market compared to what is happening around the world. Because all AI really is a database and it follows patterns. But patterns won't be the same for all industries, for all parts. So I really think it's important to take it into consideration. But I would never ask AI, oh, will you build me this marketing strategy? Because we're in Beckley and we have this brand and we would like to push this. How do we push it? I would not take that and just do whatever it tells me. Like, it's so important because it also makes mistakes oftentimes. Like, sometimes I'll ask it like, oh, we're doing this Google campaign. What would be your preferred route? And then it tells me, oh, I would do this. And I realize Google doesn't let you do that. That doesn't exist. And then all of a sudden, I'm second guessing myself, but I know what Google does or what Google doesn't. But all of a sudden, I'm sitting there second guessing. Do I not know how to use Google Ads anymore? Is there a new feature I haven't heard of? Which, I mean, it could be the case, but oftentimes I think it's really important to listen to your intuition and know like what feels good is good, sort of. And if it feels off, it's oftentimes off, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's also so obvious when someone's using like a copy-paste marketing strategy because it just feels so insincere and so impersonal.
Mm-hmm. It feels human. It feels like a robot because a robot did it.
Yeah.
I feel like one thing that's really dangerous with AI too when it comes to marketing strategy is it gives you false confidence in bad ideas.
No, it does.
100%.
Like, it's always like, this is the best idea you've ever had. Great job. This is really going to bring you business. And it's the worst idea that's ever.
It's always those
true power. They won't tell you if you've got a bad idea.
No.
They won't tell you.
And it will even build on to your bad idea. Like, it will develop your bad idea. Yeah. And like, it's so obvious sometimes, like, for example, compared to sitting in a meeting, like sometimes someone brings up an idea and everyone at the table is like, wait, this doesn't sound right. I don't think this is a good idea. But instead of that meeting being like that in AI, it would be, yeah, Ashton, I love that. That's so cool. We should do that. Like, that's not, like, someone needs to say, hold on, I don't think this is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel with AI, no one is that person.
No.
Like, no, it's critic.
AI is just like that surface level friend that you know, like you have those friends who, like, no matter what you do, they're, you know, your best friends are going to tell you if you've got a bad idea or if you're doing something wrong or if, you know, hey, I feel like this isn't so good for you. Like, good friends are going to do that. AI is a bad friend that they're just like egging you on with all of the bad that you're going to do in your idea generation. So it creates a surface level strategy. It helps with idea generation, you know, again, in strategy, or maybe some things that you may have missed or whatever. But I think one thing that is nice about AI is sometimes it will give you some of that surface level something that maybe you didn't think of, and then you can do your research and build on it yourself. And I think that's nice. But AI doesn't predict your market. It predicts patterns. So you have to develop your market. And then you can use AI to help you predict the patterns within your market, because they're not going to predict your market for you. They do not know what it's actually like to have a business in Beckley, West Virginia. It doesn't exist. So kind of, where do you think, just as a whole, in a summary, where do you think businesses go wrong when using AI?
I honestly think they use it too much and for everything. Like, as you said earlier, I mean, it's pretty simple, just the over-reliance of people just around the area, and it's just really easy. People around here, we're not really a technology focused. Like, we're not a big city, not a big, like, bustling corporate town. We're just a small town that people might get on their phone for Facebook or just something quick, and people might not have the time to sit there and research about their branding, research about their marketing and like all their digital advertising and stuff. So they just want something quick and easy. And they know that ChatGPT and all these other AI softwares help them achieve that. And it's just something that they can do it, click, post on their Facebook, make their brand as easy as can be. They don't have to worry about it. That's just I think that's the direction they go in. I don't know if you agree or not. But.
No, I do. I think the over-reliance is really dangerous. I saw it a lot in school that some professors would let us use AI, but they said whatever you put out there, it comes back to you. Like, whatever you submit will come back. Like, it's eventually whatever you put in there that, like, it will account for you. And I think it goes the same for businesses. Like, it's so important to realize that this will reflect on me as a brand. And honestly, because I've heard a lot of people, especially small businesses, they're like, oh, we don't have the funds to do it, or like hire someone to do it, but we also don't have the knowledge to do it ourselves. And I say, like, I'd rather have like kind of scrappy, sort of weird looking things that are genuine and personal than someone just relying on AI. And I think it's this new super high tool that people really want to use, and they should use it. But it's so important to realize the limitations of AI. And I think that's what most people forget. They see, like, for example, a good graphic and then think, wow, like AI created this in 1 minute and that agency would charge us a lot of money for it. Yes, but the agency will create something meaningful and something visually, like, it'll tell something about your brand. Like, it's a storytelling type of thing. While AI doesn't have that ability, at least not yet. So I think it's so important to know your limitations of AI. And like, if you don't have the money to hire someone to do it yourself, but do it in a way that feels genuine and feels personal.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, people actually don't care about perfection. They really don't. I mean, people do not care about whether or not your content is perfect. In fact, I think that there is a layer of imperfection that sometimes does a lot better than something that is presented as this perfectly with a nice little bow around it. That's what's human. Humans are imperfect. So kind of going back to that kind of storytelling kind of view, like in every single story that you've ever heard, there's trouble, there's people aren't perfect, there's, the good and the bad. And so AI is only going to present what is good. It's only going to present what is perfect. It's never going to be able to present the actual ruggedness of the human experience. And I think that that's something that every business, whether you are a truck repair company or a healthcare company or a law firm or anything, there is always that piece of that human puzzle that AI misses if you use it incorrectly. So, as kind of a final summary, how to use AI the right way. Use AI for idea generation, creating the ideas, for your first drafts of things. Use it to help with efficiency. Use it to help support your research. If you're doing research on something that you're putting out there, use it to help with that. but you have to keep your own human control over your brand voice, your strategy, your final messaging, and the creative direction of what you're putting out there. You have to keep that human touch. AI should assist execution. It should not define your brand. So, the biggest takeaway, AI makes it easy to look polished, and it makes it really easy to sound professional, but it also makes it really easy to lose your identity and shape in your brand. And that is not something you want. So everything is a balance. Everything is a balance. And AI is the exact same thing. The more human, strategic, and original brands will win. So the more original you are, you're going to win over your competitors who are using AI for everything. It's just the truth. So AI isn't the advantage anymore. It is basically the baseline. So the real differentiator is to use your own taste and your own strategy and your own humanness to develop your brand. AI will not replace marketers, but it will enhance bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are looking, perhaps, for a company that can help you to have that humanness, that human part of your brand, we're always here for that. Godek Marketing and Media, godekmedia.com, and you can contact us at any point. But if that's not something you're interested in, or you're not looking for that right now, or you don't feel like you're quite at that level yet, be messy, be human, and be messy. Use AI to help with the idea generation, but be messy. You don't have to be perfect.